Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Awesome Club 2.0. So guys, we are covering here Red Hat version 10 series, and in which today we have part 13. And in today parts, we will cover users and group management. Right? So in today videos, we will understand what's the mean of user, what's the mean of groups, and what's the concept of user in Red Hat or in Linux. Right? So everything we will cover in today videos. So now let's start without any delay. But if you have not subscribed this channel, so please subscribe and share it to your IT friends and let's go. So first thing is like what is users? So users means what? Users can be other people, right? Or in simple word, we can say like account tied to the physical user. If you will see, like for any type of service, we have to require an account. For example, if you want to use the bank services, so we have to require one account there, right? So we need to open one account there, and then we can take the service. Like you can deposit your balance, and if you want to like credit, debit, or if you want to take the loan or something, so that type of services we can take from the bank. But for that, we have to require one account. Same thing here we have. Like if you want to use the service of your operating system, if you want to use your operating system, so we have to require one account, and that is called user account, right? A user account is used to provide the security boundary between different people and program that can be run. So if you are using your operating system, so there you can set like, suppose we have created 5 user and you want that the second user will not be able to use any application or something. So we can apply the restriction there. Or if you are an administrator, so you have the rights to apply that type of policies there. So that is called a user account. You can decide which user will be able to use which type of services or something, that type of policies you can apply there. And the user associated with the running process determine the files and directory accessible to the process. So that means any user which you are using, so there we have some running process which will decide which type of files or directory you can access. And here we have a command that is called ID command, by which you can check the current login user information, which user you are using, which is the UID, GID, and the SE Linux context value, that type of things we can check. So let's go to the terminal. I'll show you there. And then there we will try to understand that means. So here you can see now I'm on my machine. And here we have two users, super user and awesome user, right? So that's the things which I want to explain you, right? If you want to use this operating system, so we have to require account. So I have created at the time of installation two accounts. One is here administrator account super user, or we can say root user. The second one is awesome user. That's the local user which I have created, right? So if you want to use the admin rights, we have super user. If you want to use a local user, we have awesome user. And after logging into the machine, if you want to create more user, that also we can create. So let me log in the super user. Let me put the password and let it be login. Now it's logged in. Here, let me open the terminal. And here, let me put ID command. So as I told you, this command will show you the current user information by which you are logged into your terminal. So here, this is the user, root user, by which I am logged in here, right? Here it is showing, and here UID is 0. Now the question is, what's the mean of UID? So in Linux, right? In Linux, here we have a concept, and that is each user is associated with a unique numerical identification number and called a user ID. That means when you will create any user, so that user will get a ID that is called user ID, right? So each and every user have a user ID. So this time I'm using root user. So root user have a reserve UID that is 0. Always root user will have 0 UID. And GID means group ID. So one more concept here we have in Linux, when you will create any user, so that time along with that one group will also create, right? One group will also create, and with the same name and same GID. That means if you will create like suppose user one, so with the same name, one group will also create user one group, and the GID. Suppose your user have GID 2000, so your group will also have the same GID 2000 by default. If you want to change, we can change at the time of creation, or we can modify after creation also. But by default, it will get the same ID. So here we have GID, we have a same group root also, and the group ID 0 also. Then here group information, right? That means in like which group or how many group have that same user as a member. So here group 0. 0 means root, right? So only primary group is there. If I will check for awesome user, right? Let me show you that also. ID awesome. If you want to check for any other user, so you can give the name there. Here you can check UID is 1000 for that awesome user. Awesome user get this UID, and at the time of creation that user, the same group also create awesome, and the same GID got 1000. And here group information, because when I create or when I install this operating system, that time I create this user, and there one option was there. If you want to make this user as an admin, so you can click there. So I click there. So that time automatically what happened? Here is a group that is called wheel group. So wheel group have all the rights like similar to admin. So when I add this user in this wheel group, so automatically this user also have the same rights as the admin. It's also work as an admin. So that's why here this is the primary group which is created along with that, and then here wheel group also we have. Right? Now I think it's clear to everyone. Then the next point is a user who create a file or directory is also the owner and group owner of that file and directory, right? That means this time I'm logged in with this root user. Let me do one thing. Let me log in. Awesome user here. Right now I'm on a awesome user. If I'll check ls, nothing is there. If I'll create a directory 1, and now if I will check ll command or ls-l you can do. So here you can see using awesome user, I have created this directory 1. So by default, awesome user is the user owner also, and the primary group of that awesome user is the group owner. That's the concept, right? So that means who create a file or directory is also the owner and the group owner of that file and directory. Then the next point is we can say like user account are fundamentals to system security. So every process on the system runs as a particular user. So that means I am on awesome user. If I will check here a command that is top command. So when I run this top command, here I can see I have a process whose owner is awesome, right? And we can select physically or by default I'm logged in with the root. So that's why rest all the process are related to root. But I'm using top command on this awesome. So that's why here it is showing. Right, so this is how we can check. Now I think it's clear to everyone. Okay, now one more thing, let me explain it. And that is, as I told you, like when we check that UID like 0 for the root user and for awesome user we have 1000. Why it is that? So here UID range if we'll discuss. So UID 0 means it is reserved for root user. UID 1 to 200 is reserved for system user assigned statically to system process by Red Hat. UID 201 to 999 is reserved for system user used by system process that do not own file on the file system, and this ID normally assigned dynamically from the available pool when the software is installed. And UID 1000 or 1000 plus is the range available for regular user. So that's why when I create awesome user, so it got 1000. And when I'll create one more user, it will get 1001. If I'll create one more, then 1002. Right? So that serial will follow, or that sequence will follow. But we can decide, like, if you want to give 2000 or 3000, that also we can give. No issue. We'll discuss. Okay, so UID is clear. Now one more important thing. Let me show you. If you want to check the user information, like how many user we have. So here we have a file that is etc. Under etc directory, file name is passwd. So here we have user information. If you will check, here we have lots of fields. Why all are there? So let me explain you firstly all the fields. So total 7 fields are there. So let me do cat space etc passwd, and here I am using grab for awesome user, right? So here we have awesome. So let me use anonet. So in this file, for each and every entry or for each and every user, we have total 7 fields, and every field is separated by this colon. So first field is this one, second field, third field, fourth field, then fifth field, sixth field, and seventh field. Total 7 field we have. First field have username. This is username. The second field have mask password. Mask password means what? It is redirecting that we have a file in which the password information, and that file is etc and shadow. This is the file we will discuss later, but for now we have a file. Okay, then let me this one like this. Yeah. After that, next field is UID. UID means user ID. Here you can check, and GID here you can check, which is the primary group or what's the GID of that. Here you can check. Next thing is comment, or we can say description. Where you are creating any user and suppose that is related to IT department or HR department. So you can write there like HR or IT. So when you will check or when you will log into that user, so there you can check, okay, that user is related to HR or IT. Like that you can type there. The next field is home directory, right? Which is the home directory of that user. Here you can check. Then default shell. Default shell means when you will log into that user, this shell will be there, WinBash, right? Or if you will change that, here already we discussed, here total we have 2 shell which is available here, sh or wedge. If you will set sh there, so by default when you will log into that user, there sh shell will log in, right? So here we have total 7 field, and that's the mean of that field, right? And that is very important for interview perspective also, or when you are working in your machine or when you are working in your organization. So that is too important. I think it's clear to everyone. So for today's video, that's all about that. In next part, we will discuss or we will perform the practical part of users, right? How we can create the user, modify user or delete user, that will cover in next part. So thank you everyone. That's all for today. We'll meet in next video. Let's go.